Hello and welcome back to the pod.
Siri, what did you think of Doctor Who?
Excuse me.
Siri, what did you think of Doctor Who on Christmas Day?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please say that again?
Siri,
Yeah, make the joke
Siri.
longer. That's good.
did you like Doctor Who on Christmas Day?
Here's what I found.
What did it say?
He's not got a. He's not.
It's not really. It's not going.
He said he loved the Goblin song.
I'm not. I don't really want to sing it again.
He's the Goblin King, old Goblin King. He's not a myth. No,
That's the other
that's
bit.
the main bit. Oh, the Goblin King, old Goblin King. It's good to meet you, you great big thing. I can see you're having a fun day. So let meet my friend. She's Ruby Sunday. Your bit.
And she goes,
Nice. This is your bit.
nice,
Go on.
Nice to meet you. Nice to hiddly
No,
meet you.
it's good to greet you. Good to meet you. It's good to say,
how diddly deet you.
is today my birthday? My
today-
oh my.
I'm
We're 50 miles up in the sky.
The goblins, you can go to hell.
Goblins,
because
you're not eating Lulu Bell.
And then he talks about his rope.
Is
Not an
today
innuendo.
my birthday? I can't recall.
No, she's finished
Let's have
now.
a party anyway, because I love a Marx spot. No, that's horrible histories. If I've understood that rope,
I like it
one
does the
more
hand
master
thing.
plan.
No,
The Goblin King will go bang.
that's not the lyric, but we're gonna roll with it and carry on.
Welcome back to the Who Podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast. Where the songs,
With
luckily,
two listeners,
are minimal.
me and you.
Luckily, the songs are minimal for us. From us, anyway.
For-
But don't worry, we've got two verses to talk about as we go through. But of course, we have The Church on Ruby Road, this year's Christmas special, from Doctor Who, the first one in a long time.
because it was Christmas.
Did you watch it on Christmas
Did
Day?
Santa come down your chimney on Christmas? Were you a good boy this year?
Well, I've got to tell you something about Santa.
Yeah.
I'll leave it till afterwards. But
Okay, so did Santa come down your Christmas this year?
yes,
What did Santa get you for Christmas this year?
alcohol.
Wow. But
Filling with the microphone again.
sorry, but Santa wasn't the only thing that came on Christmas for you.
Oh, he's still trying to make this work.
it
Go on.
was Doctor Who also came on Christmas.
Did you watch it? Did you watch it on Christmas Day?
I did.
Did you?
I did.
Live?
Yes.
Because obviously I was being attacked.
Live.
Oh.
So I'm more of a Who fan.
Yeah, I've missed all of them other than the Star Beasts.
Yeah. How many times have you watched it?
I've watched it twice.
I've watched it twice. Did you enjoy it more second viewing or first viewing?
I think the trouble I had, and I think you can also tell from the review, is that in the first watch, the first time, I was a bit like, yeah, I liked it, but I kind of wanted a bit more from it, and I was expecting a bigger event than what we actually got.
Yes.
Then when it comes to watching it a second time, I think I accepted it for what it actually was, not what I thought it could be. And then I thought, actually, do you know what? I do like a lot of the elements within this. Like, I mean, if we'll start off with like Shooty and Ruby. Do you want to do them individually? It'll probably be easier trying to do them as a pair.
Can I just
But-
start by saying one thing?
What's that?
If you are frequent viewers / listeners of this podcast, I'd like to apologise for my actions on the previous podcast.
What did you
The
do?
way I acted.
Oh, have you changed your views on?
No, I've not changed my views.
Oh,
I
right.
just realised I
You just-
sound like a spoilt brat. And the way I acted, shouting at you, going like, "Yes, McDaniel! Yes, McDaniel!" It was actually embarrassing to listen back to, and I am so sorry. I will be on my best behaviour today.
From now on.
From now on.
So, well, now that you've apologised, I guess, right in the middle of my segue, what are your thoughts on Shooty? Should we go with Shooty first and then talk about Millie?
Very much like Shooty. He brings so much energy to this character. And I know he's not the youngest, but he definitely brings the most youthful Doctor.
Yeah.
I think it's time for it. Obviously, Matt Smith, he was a young actor, but he did play the old man and all that stuff. And everyone's like, "Oh, he's brilliant." You can see him. But we've had that many times. I think it's time we finally now get a youthful actor who's got the energy, who's fit in both ways. And
Right.
I think it's going to be a new mind the spunk of life.
Oh, that is not the right word. But yeah, no.
I'm sorry
in
for
terms
using
of its
that word,
new
but I
meaning,
generally
compared to its
could not think
its
of
old
another
meaning.
way.
No,
It's just,
I see what you mean. Though. He brings a very, very good vibe. Into,
like just
into
the jumping
show,
over the jumping over the roofs. Like I can't picture another Doctor doing that.
It's very energetic and it's very confident in itself, which I like. And I think that you can have, like if you take like Matt Smith's Doctor, there was this sort of childlessness to it, but his Doctor was all about being older behind the eyes and having a youthful exterior. And with this Doctor, I like that there's such a level of confidence, but then at the same time there's an element of being vulnerable and not being quite sure of yourself.
Yeah.
Then because then obviously that sort of almost that ego, that confidence does take over. But I think that as long as the Doctor has a bit of both, and even though now the Doctor is fit, has muscles, and is well groomed in that respect, it's not meaning that the Doctor's going to be running around with guns and sort of being a big action hero.
I didn't think he'd come like John Rambo.
Yeah.
It's really. I'm really excited to see not how Shooty plays, because we know Shooty can play it.
Yeah.
But what we're going to see from this new Doctor.
I think that we're going to be massively surprised by it. Because I was surprised he was even in a nightclub in the first place. But I think, well, why couldn't the Doctor be in a nightclub?
I think it suits him.
I think we've had so many Doctors.
He wasn't drinking. He was just enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Which I think is about time.
There's been so many Doctors that have been quiet
so
and sort of
funny that the Doctor has been to Cardiff Prison.
Yeah.
Have I said this already?
Yes. I think you may have done last time.
Yeah, the Doctor is in Cardiff Prison.
What also made me laugh about the nightclub bit is that when he spins around, his entire kilt flies around him, and I thought, you never have that much space, do you?
No.
I'm like shoulder to shoulder with some bloke talking about plumbing or something like that.
Or you've got to kind of awkwardly stand in front of a bloke that's trying to get with one of the girls you're out with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got to just kind of be back towards him, dancing, ignoring him. You're getting shoved by him because he wants to come talk to him, but you're like, I'm not letting you. We love going clubbing.
I love clubbing. It's so much fun. No, but I think it is good to have a Doctor that can. I think because we've seen all the whole things of like, oh, the Doctor doesn't like wine and all of that might still continue, but for the Doctor to sort of be. I think you need some differences. Free-spirited. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Why can't the Doctor go into nightclubs and stuff? Because I think originally I was quite opposed to it when I first saw it, because I thought, well,
because he went to one before you.
No. No, I just thought it was very strange that there was this.
Sorry.
I just thought it was very strange that the Doctor would do that kind of thing. But I suppose with this character of the Doctor, there's a sort of element of he doesn't really. He kind of just goes for everything, and obviously he's not. He's just out there to have a good time and have an adventure, and I think that's at its core what the Doctor is. And I mean, there's lots of other elements that I think we've got used to being part of the Doctor. Like the Doctor's quite autistically coded and stuff like that, but this Doctor seems
neurodivergent.
Neurodivergent, or at least, yeah.
You'll get cancelled for saying that. Autistic.
I don't.
Doctor is neurodivergent. Have you not seen all the compilations on YouTube and TikTok?
I have, yeah. That's I think because we get used to it, and then you see this Doctor being a lot more confident and brave. In that respect, it's a bit of a juxtaposition, but works so well.
My ass, I'm pulling the chair up further.
Sorry?
I've got a chair here because me and Dan are sat on a piano cue chair.
It's quite long, but at the same time.
Wait, you've seen
I'm perched at the end, and you're man-spreading.
Man-spreading?
Yeah, look at me.
We've got the same leg gap. Right.
There we go, much better. Just hold up. Unless we don't like each other. Go over there. Right, I'll take this corner, you take that corner.
What's your thoughts? Thoughts on the episode?
Oh, yeah, it was good.
Aye.
No, come back in there. It's weird. Anything else you'd like to say about Shooty? Obviously, can we talk about the costumes? Can we be talking about this bit?
We were talking about this.
Yeah.
How many separate?
I think we've got 4 or 5.
I think we had 5, didn't we?
Yeah.
How do you feel that this Doctor hasn't really got a definitive costume?
No, I like the fact that the Doctor doesn't necessarily need to wear the same clothes all the time.
No. However,
I do think there needs to be a pattern to the ones that he wears, and some of them I think are very much like the Doctor, and then I think some of them are too casual. I'm not sure, like the vest and the kilt one. I mean, it's not my favourite. the big leather jacket suits that he wears
Oh,
for the majority of the episode, I think are
beautiful.
brilliant. His reveal outfit, as we'll call it, I mean it's
Seen
fine
for a shot.
but it's not featured much in the
This is
episode.
obviously the one with the orange sweater and the long-ish
Yeah,
coat with the matching-ish trousers.
I mean that's a completely fine outfit, but
I
it's
do hope
Doctor-like.
that is not the only time we see
I
it.
hope not as well. I hope we do see it a few times. I think it has been. I think we're getting more variations, though, aren't we? But like, there's the variation that we see in the trailer, where with the sort of almost like the leather jacket and the white shirt, and for me, I feel like that is too minimalist for the Doctor. So I think it's like having.
Oh wait, you mean the kind of it's more of a cord jacket?
It reminds me a bit of Grease.
No, it's. Wait, which one are you on about?
The
one where he's on about at the TARDIS like that,
yeah.
right at the end, and he
No.
hugs Millie.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's more of like a kind of cord, literally like a jacket you've got. It's just a plain white t-shirt. It's not leather. It's like a cord jacket.
Right. There's one back here somewhere. Yeah.
That
one.
No, it's not denim.
Well, that one is denim, but yeah.
It's like you see it in the interview because it's. And I thought that was just his clothes that had come in, but no, it's costume. It's kind of like a cordy jacket. It looks so casual.
It is. I'd wear that. You see, like I might try and buy one of them because it'd be cool. But so that's how I feel about the costumes. Where I think, picking the right costume for the Doctor takes a lot. Like if you look at Matt Smith's costume, that is like an iconic suit. This Doctor has so many costumes. Which one is his iconic look? I really like the one he wears for the majority of the episode.
This one.
But I don't feel like I can warm to it if he's going to switch it out every episode.
Do you think this could be one of the criticisms that we see changed in season 2? I'm never calling it season 2. It's always going to be series 16.
Yeah, it's series 1 and 2 now.
Season.
I think that. Yeah, I guess so. But I think in terms of figures, I mean, the Doctor's had outfits.
You have got to think you got to think toy wise.
Yeah.
If they want,
are we going to get all of those though?
No, I think we'll get his Christmas variation, and I think we'll get Beatles, Doctor,
yeah.
and I think we'll get. I don't think we'll get the Jonathan Groff. In that whole uptight. That one,
really?
I don't think we'll get that. I think we'll then get the variation of the Christmas one with the different top.
Yeah, I think
they're the 3 we're going to get for this season.
I think that jacket is going to be the staple of the Doctor, and then the shirts are going to change.
Because they mention it, don't they? Leather jacket,
yeah.
And then he can't.
And then I think that from that point, I think there'll be like. It'll be dependent on the episode, so it'll be more costume based. But then that's why I'm not a fan of all of the outfits, because I think all of them are a little bit. Sometimes I don't think you need another outfit.
No.
Especially when they don't all appeal to me anyway.
But anyway, Shooty Gatwa wasn't the only person that was in that episode.
Yeah.
There was
Millie Gibson as Ruby Sunday.
I literally have an Eat Dobson in my head for some reason. Well, I know for the reason, because there's a whole bloody mystery around her. Such a fucking nerd. Oh my god.
So in terms of Millie then,
yeah.
I mean, for me, she is much like many companions we've had in Doctor Who. I think that was intentional though, because I think there's this little bit of going, we're going to give you a companion that's a little bit like other companions, but is also different. I think that her story is going to be quite interesting when it comes into her sort of orphanage,
a foundling.
Sorry, yes, as you described it, a foundling upbringing, and I love how that parallels with the Doctor, and then that can be a nice little sort of.
Yeah, I just think we haven't seen enough of Millie yet. I say it always does take a couple of episodes to get used to the new companions.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they are literally a different character, whereas the Doctor's still got he's got his basic things he follows, Whereas for a companion, it's a whole new person you're writing.
Yeah. But I mean, how much? I always think when we write ours, how much scope is there in a companion though? Because you're gonna be treading over the same. The same ground in some respect, because they still need to have the same motivation to move on and fly away with the Doctor.
Yeah.
But I think she was good. She had the right amount of charisma, and there's lots of little moments. Like I like the bit when she discovers that, when she realizes right at the end of the episode that the Doctor is
The time traveler.
I think that kind of energy, and there's lots of little stuff to her performance that I like as well. Where when she's told about her by Davina McCall that they haven't found anyone. There's some nice little things to her performance that I like. As their dynamic gets better, I think that's kind of my qualm with part of this episode, is that their dynamic...
That's a very big word.
Thank you very much. I learnt it in a book.
What does it mean?
It means issue.
Right.
Is that I think that I'm not a big fan of how their dynamic kind of goes from 0 to 100 extremely quickly. They feel like they've known each other for a while, which obviously isn't, it's intentional so that you skip all the whole... who are you? What are you doing in my house? Kind of thing, and so that they sort of become friends straight away. But I don't think, and I mean that's bound to happen because you don't want to be sitting there watching this dull interaction where they have to, because you know where it's heading, and you've seen it 100 times. Yeah. But then I think the bit when when she disappears and he starts crying, and I'm a bit like. Maybe this was slightly too much for a woman you've only met for an hour.
But is that possibly because it's kind of got a link to him because he's a foundling?
I was about to say that,
and he's finally got, he had kind of got a recognition from her, like, oh, we'll help you, blah, 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 blah. Not obviously not saying that, but realising that people will help 33 plus kids.
Yeah, on the fridge, yeah.
And then obviously he goes in and goes, that's nothing now. There are still... Do you know what I mean? Is that because of that affected him as well?
Yeah, probably. But I was sort of going, this seems like a lot for a first episode where they've just met and they seem to get on extremely well. There's no sort of push and pull, as it's been described.
But I don't think there would be. They don't seem like the characters to have the push and pull.
No, I suppose that this Doctor is very... laid back, and there's not as much defense there as there was before.
Martha and 10.
There was a little bit though.
That was a genetic transfer.
No, that was chemistry. No, but there's sort of little bits of sort of her standing, going, "What are you? What?" And she doesn't seem as reactive to those sort of things as other companions have been. That's a really, really tiny qualm, though.
Again, with the qualm word.
Same word, use it twice. Still wow.
Word of the podcast, qualm.
Qualm.
Let's change to the qualm cast.
It's going to start to sound like Quorn, though, isn't it?
Qualm. Let's change to the qualm pod.
The qualm pod.
Yeah.
I've got a qualm with you, you cad.
Oh, cad. Was that in this episode?
No, it was in the trailer. Gosh, you cad.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So we have them. We have our new TARDIS team, and of course we talked about the variations
TARDIS
of costumes and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yes, there's just two of them.
Not calling it fam. And then of course we have our antagonists of the episode. Another big word, Will. Another big word.
The baddies,
which are the goblins. So what do you think about the general execution of the goblins? First, like how they were done and brought to the screen, because I think that's quite impressive.
What you mean, the fact that they're real?
Yeah, I mean obviously a lot of them are CGI.
I like
elements,
the costumes,
but the costume of it is really, really good.
Do I like the goblins in general?
Are you talking about their use in the episode, or are you talking about their look?
They look fine. They look good.
I like the way they look.
Okay,
yeah.
But let's talk about them in the episode. The only thing that people actually care. Because we all know the goblins look good. Yeah. I don't think there's one person out there being like, I don't like the way the goblins look.
There is, but they complain about everything, so...
Right, and that person's bolstering.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right, okay, I don't... Okay.
Are you a little bit...
Could have been anybody.
Are you wondering... do you think it's got sort of like the first episode syndrome where the antagonists feel like they are a little bit of an afterthought, but obviously in the marketing and stuff they've been like this huge thing, this huge sort of, we're doing goblins this Christmas, and really the stuff that we see is their main point within the episode. So obviously they have their song sequence, but
Okay.
then after that it focuses
I
on.
don't
the companion.
understand the whole they travel on coincidence. Do not understand that.
Right? Yeah.
I don't.
Well, that's it. They makes the baby tasty. It's like marinating it.
I don't understand it.
I don't know.
I don't understand why, when they didn't get Lulu Bell, they went, let's go back all the way to get this baby. Why does Ruby baby matter?
Because she was set up as well.
Yeah, but they've been munching babies for years. Just go back to another baby. Or go get another baby. Why did they have to go back in time?
Because they're not quite time travelers.
Time hoppers.
They're hopping, so I presume they have to hop through Millie's
bumbling.
Millie's time stream and stuff. Because they have to go. They go back. They set up like the.
Okay, wait. So the goblins are linked to Millie's time stream
because they've been interacting with her. Yeah, they've been unplugging her keyboard and stuff like that, which makes it tasty. And then obviously they've involved her.
Yeah, but that doesn't. Right, they've been unplugging her keyboard.
Yeah, think of it like Weeping Angels, right? Do they feed
no,
on that?
No, I won't think of it like Weeping Angels.
Okay,
I know
then
I
you won't
apologise.
understand it.
I know either way. I apologise for kicking off last episode.
You kick it up again.
Dan's just said, think of it as Weeping Angels. They're causing bad luck to Millie, so why they wanted to scran the babies? But Ruby met the baby literally 10 minutes ago, and now you're like, I'm going to scran that baby. Why are you not scranning Millie when she's the one that you've been marinating?
Because it all leads towards the kid.
Why don't they just pick the kid up and scran the kid?
Because they can't scran.
Why does it need to be that kid?
Coincidence, I guess.
I'm not having it.
I'm
not having it.
Are you suggesting that it must be like this kid has to have some importance?
I think if you want to show the goblins having some actual threat, there should have been a Trinity news or something being like babies going missing at Christmas.
That sounds awful.
Yes, but it would mean the goblins are actually doing something and not just gone.
There's only one ship.
Baby, scran it. Do you know what I mean?
It
don't make sense.
It's revolving.
I get that goblins are causing chaos, but then the reason the goblins are causing chaos is to scran a baby. It don't make sense. They add salt to the baby when it's going to the Goblin King. So it's not marinating.
I get what you mean there.
It's not marinating. It's got nothing to do with the flavour of the baby. If you want to eat a baby, scran a baby. But why do they have to be that baby? And why, when they don't get that baby, do they go, right, I'm going to go for her as a baby?
I presume because they're not proper time travellers, they can't really.
So you don't need travelling time. You don't need travelling time. Just go, right, missed that baby. Oh, another baby. Got it.
Because they how it works is that they're going back and they have to sort of set it up over days. So since that start of the episode with the Davina McCall bit, they've been setting up Millie and for this baby to arrive on Christmas Eve, which is the same day as her birthday, and this baby was born, on the same day. So that's all part of the coincidence, and that's the sort of stuff that they feed on.
So why aren't they scranning Millie? I think it would have been better if they were going to scran Millie.
Right.
Or Ruby, sorry.
She's not a baby.
No, I know. But the whole point about the goblins scranning babies is a bit pointless.
Well,
if they were doing this thing of, if the baby wasn't in it and they just scran babies for the fun of it and Millie was the feast, that could have worked. Like, I'm not rewriting the episode, well, I am. But
you are a bit, yeah.
If they were doing the thing like, we scran babies for a snack, but she's the juicy one. I don't. You know what I mean? She's the one that we've been marinating.
Yeah.
She's the main course. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Then maybe that could have worked better because they're the ones that are actually causing the coincidences too.
Okay, but how do you cause But it is revolving around the kid though, because the kid, it's the same day as Millie's birthday, so that's the coincidence that they're born on the same day.
So yeah, but if you remove that baby from the episode, scran Ruby. Make the goblins more of a threat because they're actually going to scran one of the main characters.
Well, they're gonna eat them anyway, I think,
and not some random baby,
right? And
then it shows that, when they couldn't scran Millie, they're like, right, we'll go scran you earlier then, because you can't stop yourself.
So basically, you only care if they eat a baby
That
we
actually
care
has.
about. Yeah.
That actually has me. That I think that would make them more threatening. Because for me,
Did you just hear what you just said?
make the goblins more threatening.
Eat a baby that we know, and it's better than eating any child.
Mate, Lulabelle rocks up and goes, "Oh, we got a kid. Right, sick." I don't know Lulabelle. I do know Ruby Sunday. The entire episode based around Ruby Sunday. Make the goblins want to scran Ruby Sunday on a Sunday. What a coincidence! Boom, makes her more
part of the
makes her more marinated.
Marinated.
And it would make more sense. It would be because the goblins were a threat. Because then that's like, oh shit, if they scran a baby, who cares? It's baby. They scran Ruby Sunday. That's the companion gone, mate. Do you know what I mean? I think it's
coincidence though. It's all about the coincidences, and so I suppose they can't exactly control how they time travel because it's not how it works for them. So they have to eat the baby that leads up.
Then if you're wanting to eat, mate, if they're eating Lulabelle,
yeah, no,
if they're scranning that baby,
yeah.
There should have been something about babies going missing at Christmas. The Doctor saves the day by rescuing up because
Tons of babies.
by rescuing tons of babies.
Tons of babies.
Yeah.
I've just got an image of the Doctor standing there with like 3 babies in each arm, Millie behind her.
Well, no, because because they're making a big feast over one baby. Yeah. Now, if you want a big feast, if you want a Christmas dinner, if you will,
I think you're trying to
I'm trying to make them more threatening.
I think you're trying to make them more logical.
I'm not making them logical. I'm trying to make them more scary, more threatening. Because for me, it was like, oh, goblin, cool. Goblin, that, to be honest, at no point in the episode. If that goblin weren't there...
The big one.
Alright, if the goblins were just like... Goblins could have been anything. Anything that scrans a baby.
Yeah, but why can't it be goblins?
Make it be goblins, but make the goblins actually have something to do. Look, make the goblins rememberable. Not make them rememberable because they sang a song.
Okay, I don't really get your argument this time.
Again. The goblins are a bit naff in the episode. I think there should have been more of an actual threat around the goblins.
Right.
Because we knew the Doctor was going to save Lulabelle. Mm-hmm. We didn't think for a second that that they were going to scran Lulabelle.
We are 21. We do understand how Doctor Who works.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if we got a little thing being like babies going missing, and then we see them about to scran Lulabelle, we can go, oh my god, they've scran babies. And then you open a door, oh, they're in the storage cabinet. Don't worry, babies aren't dead.
I don't know how I feel about the idea that the goblins are trying to eat lots of different babies.
No, it's not just the goblin. You seen the fucking size of that king? He'd scran... That Lulabelle was not touching the side. She were going straight down. You're telling me that's enough for him?
And they eating the basket as well.
Don't believe that. Exactly. Eat the basket as well. Don't believe that.
They brought their own basket.
Oh, actually, you know what? I like the goblins.
They
cared for the baby. They brought their own basket. Laid her down nicely.
I don't mind it.
I have another qualm with the goblins.
Okay.
Why the fuck did they take a selfie?
They did, didn't they? Yeah. I can't really answer that, to be honest. I don't know what the goblins... I suppose they're just cheeky. They're just cheeky little guys.
Oh, killed Rita McCall. We got her there. What a little cheeky fucker.
They would. He literally did go. That was just fun. They killed it because it was fun. And obviously went back and saved her. So don't worry, Davina's fine. The next series of whatever.
Long lost
family. I was going to say
it was like,
I was going to say Big Brother, but she doesn't do that. And she hasn't done that for about 10 years.
Davina McCall did not do Big Brother.
She did. She was the presenter of Big Brother.
Did she?
Yeah.
I thought it was Emma Willis.
No, it was. Before that, it was
Davina McCall did Big Brother.
Yeah. Do the thing when it goes, someone's coming out.
Oh yeah,
do you
want another one? Of course it is.
That's what you should do.
Sorry, guys.
You've forgotten.
Celebrity Big Brother this year. Next
I never
year.
watched it. I didn't watch the new series, and we were too young to watch the original. So.
I'm going to watch the celebrity one.
Fair enough. Do you think, as we've been talking about goblins, do you think that Davina McCall was a bit of a weird inclusion in the episode? Because...
Can I mention one more thing about the goblins?
Yes, lots of fingers going on.
There's a shooty line that I really didn't like.
Okay.
Why do you think they're called goblins? Because they want to gobble you up. Oh, Russell, mate. Were you having an off day that day?
That may have been a joke.
No, I don't think it was a joke. I really don't think it was a joke. I think that was why they're called goblins, because they want to gobble you up.
Yeah, lovely. One line of dialogue.
Ruined it. Honestly, I
Right.
did cringe a bit when that. Why do you think they're called goblins? Because they want to gobble you up. I'm like, oh, God.
I think you care slightly too much. Anyway, what I was going to say is Davina McCall, Will.
Yeah, she was alright.
Did you think her inclusion in the episode was a bit strange compared that she was in all the marketing for it?
She wasn't in all the marketing, she was in 2 pictures.
Is it? But I think that it made more sense not to include. I suppose they had to because she was in the leaks.
I didn't read the leaks. I ain't got an
No,
issue.
because it was a massive rumor that she was going to be in it, and it was practically confirmed that she was in the Christmas special. So you might have well just announced it.
Oh, right. Yeah, fine. Didn't care for her. Well, I honestly didn't care for her.
It's a joke, isn't it? It's a little joke bit.
No, she wasn't a joke.
It was a gag.
It wasn't a gag.
Yeah,
It wasn't. The whole point
that
of
was just fun. It was a gag. Don't move. Oh, here we go.
That bit was a gag. However, the point of having Davina McCall at the start is so you can get a bunch of exposition about Ruby's character without it being obvious exposition.
Yes.
So no, Davina McCall wasn't a gag.
Well, how do you feel about the resolution of the episode? You know, the sort of...
I wanted an action.
Grabbing the ladder
wanted
and putting it down.
I wanted a Doctor Who moment. I
Mm.
wanted an action scene at the end. I felt like, yeah, it's cool him grabbing a rope and jumping in pointless slow motion. But, however, you know, if the rope snaps, so he jumps off in slow
Jumps
motion.
off the
Pointless. You know, it's literally like a step. He didn't jump. It wasn't like a woman who fell to earth jump.
But obviously it's the gloves that have weight, so that as they jump down...
Yeah, no, that's what I
the
mean.
weight
That's
pulls
what.
the ship
Yeah, that's
down.
what I mean. But the jump to the ladder, edge is there, ladder's there. Like it's not even far. Like you didn't need a slow mo. It literally is him doing that, but a little jump in slow motion.
Right.
That
Again,
was pointless.
nitpick.
Oh, I'm sorry, because you're not nitpicking the episode, saying the whole point, saying Davina McCall was a gag.
It was a gag.
She was not a gag.
Fact.
Sorry.
Just your trousers while we're at it. So that was the resolution itself then, as you've done in a little bit.
Well, he stabbed the goblin. He hot fuzzed the goblin.
He hot fuzzed the goblin, yeah. Now, here's what I would have liked.
I wanted a
which
doctor's
we
speech.
didn't get, is that I would have liked a speech.
To the goblin.
A little bit of a kind of,
We didn't get a doctor moment.
other than the song, which, yeah.
I mean, a doctor
That's the closest
moment.
we had, though, wasn't it? Was the escaping the goblin ship. Which wasn't a bad moment, but you do kind of hope that with, a new doctor, you get this big...
There was one
cool
little bit I liked earlier
scene.
when he was... Obviously, the bit that had been added in after, whole thing of she's going to say yes, and showed he's got his detective still side to him, being like...
Yeah, the snowman scene with the police officer.
I've just been snowman, so
Yeah.
I'm going away.
I love that bit as well. So there was definitely moments of it. I think just at the end, I think we both wanted a bit of a...
Because you look back at all of Russell's previous Christmas specials,
Yeah.
and there's been the big Act 3.
Yeah,
Act 3 has been the big act.
yeah.
You've had, obviously, Tennant coming back from fighting the Sycorax, losing his hand, winning the fight. And then you had Runaway Bride, obviously, just destroying the Arachnos. Voyage of the Damned, the whole episode.
thing. I was going to say, when you got to it, the whole
episode
basically.
is that. Next Doctor, the Cyberman thing,
Yeah,
the Cyber King. End of Time, part 1's different, but you had the part 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've always had the big Act 3, whereas we didn't get it in this.
No.
We got running around and him in the snow, which looked beautiful.
It did, yeah. It was gorgeous.
For a change of that episode, but...
I don't think it landed as well as they thought it would have done.
No, we wanted a Doctor Who moment. We didn't get it. We got a sing song. I'm all right with the sing song, but I still want a Doctor moment at the end.
Too right. So are you talking about like a big warning, like going up to the ship again and having a warning with them and confronting them in a sort of slightly more desperate sense, about to destroy them, and then of course I imagine hops off the rope and hot fuzzes them.
Yeah, could be. Or like he talks to the dying Goblin King, and they're like, "You brought this upon yourself," or something like that.
You wanted that sort of dark edge.
Not even dark edge. I wanted a Doctor moment. I wanted a speech. Not even a speech. I just wanted a moment where you're like, "This is the Doctor."
I like to sort of cap off the episode, because I think we have said that we've had. There are moments that make me think, yeah, this is Shooty's sort of Doctor moment. But I think, like you say, we could have done with the X3 that had that final drive. So, Will, with this episode though, at the end, we have a sort of post-credit scene, don't we?
Mid-credit scene.
Oh, mid-credit scene, yes. Well, I like. Do you want to talk about it?
What's the matter? You never seen a TARDIS before? Mrs. Flood, that is, by the way.
Yeah. I bet that sounded really good to those listening on streaming.
Yeah, I was being Mrs. Flood.
So
the one that in the mid-credit scene goes, "What's the matter?" Yeah, you know what I'm doing.
So in that scene, do you feel like? I mean, do you want to theorize at this point? I don't feel like we need to. But were you expecting that, and are you excited to see what may come from that?
I didn't expect it. I'm excited to see where it comes from. It. Yes and no. I think we had a lot of mysteries set up in this episode. We've obviously got many, just them two, but we had who is Ruby's parents?
Yeah. That's the big one, isn't it? Of course, yeah. The 13th Doctor.
I think you could have had. It'd be interesting to see what they're going to do with her.
I'm excited to see, because I feel like with this special in particular, it feels like there is a master plan going on, and eventually we'll find out.
Master
Maybe
plan.
I don't know.
The Daleks master plan.
The Cyber Dalek master plan.
Was it the cyber plan?
It was that was Power of the Doctor reference, but you've deleted that, haven't you? You've deleted that episode from your mind. The Master says, "I don't know what to call my plan." He goes through lots of ideas, and one of them is the Cyber Dalek master plan. He's deleted it.
Do you not remember from that episode?
What's that?
Rah rah, Rasputin.
Okay. It was just
Queen.
Before or after that. So I don't really want to go into theories, because it feels like we'd have so little information. It could be anything, but there's a massive plan going on, which is the important thing. And I feel like with Russell, we are more or less in safe hands going into series 14. And with that big sort of trailer, it's all very exciting.
Big trailer?
Small trailer? Teaser? What are you making reference to? The big Goblin King is back.
I wanted something a bit more from the trailer.
Really? It's not till May.
I wanted something to get excited about. Like, oh, this person or this person's returning, this person's returning. Show a Dalek. Don't show Daleks. We're fed up with Daleks. Show Martha. Oh! There's that. Have you seen the thing on TikTok?
Well, I think it's like the first shot of the trailer, isn't it?
First shot of the trailer.
There's somebody
and
behind him.
Martha-like silhouette, and it's so clearly Rose.
It's probably Rose.
You know, watch actually this come back in May, and it is Martha, and I look so stupid.
I like the idea of things being hidden, though. So I think the one gripe that we've had between us, though, a proper gripe that isn't just a little nitpick, qualm, is the direction being a bit strange in places. I think that there's a little bit of showmanism going on. As you talked about, like the shot of the hand over the banister and stuff.
That loomed for a bit too long.
Yeah. And the sort of big close-ups of people's faces that felt sort of a little bit unnerving. It's weird. It's a weird thing to describe, because you know when it feels right, but when you can't really tell when it feels right. But when it feels wrong, it kind of just sort of makes you like question it a little bit, doesn't it? thank you very much for listening then, everyone at home.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Will, for being here. Will got his lines confused. Will, do you want to run through the platforms that you can find the podcast on?
Oh my god, right. We're available on Spotify, Spreaker, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes. They are separate things before you say anything.
Are they? All right.
Podchaser,
I think you've got most of them.
Podlover,
I haven't really...
SoundCloud.
Yeah. And do you have to remember all of them, Will?
No, you don't have to remember all the places like Spotify, Spreaker, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud. You can find them all on the link tree down below, where you can also donate to our Ko-fi and buy us a coffee so we don't have to do this silly podcast. If you want this podcast to stop,
You want to just stop
send us money. The second we hit a tenner, we'll stop.
a tenner.
A tenner.
Of course, if you want to email into the podcast, you can as well, using the email that's down in the description.
whopodcast.com@gmail.com.
Not an email I've actually checked since we started doing this. Whoops.
If you want to email in, if you want to become the new co-host, email in.
Put your letter in any bin, and it will get to me.
Bye.
Goodbye.